let's cover a movie that we covered, I think, at TIFF. We covered at Sundance. It is now out I was going to say in theaters, out on Netflix, which is theaters to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are split.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tends to be the thing that happens when the movie gets released on Netflix because it becomes available to all sorts of people and not just the ones who are motivated enough to go see it in theaters. Because I feel like if you're in for a Richard Linklater movie, for a Glenn Powell hangout, there's nothing to be too disappointed with in Hitman. I've revisited it now twice since it popped on Netflix.
Nice.
It is like quite delightful. I think it's just a really easy to watch movie. Some of my qualms with it when I first saw it are how kind of like how sort of meandering it is in the beginning. Like it really takes quite a while for the plot to kick into gear. Like there's plot there, but it's kind of like the undercurrent of what's really like a character thing. Really a hangout with Glenn Powell's fake hitman character. But the thing is, like, when this movie gets going, it really gets going. And there's like a 30-minute stretch there that's some of the most like electric, fun, kind of like what should feel like blockbuster filmmaking I think we've had all year. That whole notes app scene is maybe the best scene we've had all year. Yeah. I don't know. I like this a lot. I think that there's a lot of really interesting things about self-actualization that the movie is saying. I don't know if you saw Jane Schoenbrunn, director of I Saw the TV Glows, tweet talking about saying that this movie is trans and that they asked Richard Linklater about that and that he's like kind of open to that interpretation of it as well. But, it's really, it really in a lot of ways is sort of about like imagining the kind of person you can be and then acting on it and the way that sometimes we can, mold ourselves in the image of something we desire to be.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid blockbuster movie. It's the kind of one that you would recommend easily to anyone in your family, friends. We watch a lot of really good stuff out of festivals, but, is it going to be available? Is it really going to be up everyone's sleeve? This is one that I think is one of the easiest recommendations, like we've said in the past. But just like right now, I think a lot of the reaction isn't even to the movie. I think you and I many times see reviews where it's just like not reviewing the movie, but reviewing reviews of the movie. I think the hype that it got has got people going like, oh, I don't think it lived up to this or this or this or this. I think, but what did you think of the movie though? Same thing happened at festivals. When it got that big overseas reaction, we didn't hear reviews of the movie other than reviews saying, oh, I don't think it's up to that. Okay, that's fine. But what do you think of... Like, you just gave me a really good breakdown of like what it could represent, what it's supposed to be, something on the performances, on the scenes. And I think because of the hype that it's been getting, we've been seeing this turnaround since festivals where people are reacting to the reactions. And that happens to a lot of Linklater movies, I feel. I remember that happening to Boyhood as well. I remember that being a big thing for me where I was just like, I don't think it lives up to the hype. And I wasn't really reviewing Boyhood for what Boyhood was supposed to be because I was so stuck on, really, this is 5 stars? I don't know. It's just... That's the type of filmmaker Linklater is, where he goes all in. He gives you a vibe movie that when people aren't vibing with it, they start not being able to, cover what's actually in front of them. But the reactions that people are giving to them, I think it's fantastic. I haven't been able to revisit it on Netflix, but I've been seeing some of the interviews that he's done. The man's got so much charisma, in and out. I'm so excited.
Are we talking Richard or Glenn? Because it's both of them.
Both of them. Glenn. Yeah, to both of them, to be honest. Because honestly, when they always say that a director casts the lead to be himself? Like DiCaprio.
Sorry, you broke up.
How DiCaprio got that whole thing that directors choose someone who looks like them.
Definitely. There's a lot of Linklater in all of his protagonists. I mean, Ethan Hawke is basically playing Linklater in the Before series.
Yeah. And I saw that quote that was going around about what inspired the Before series and how he went on a walk and the lady who he had dedicated it to. He didn't find out until midnight about what really happened to her. Looked that stuff up. Very interesting things. But I know he's been working with Glenn Powell for a while. I think one of the best ones that they've done together would be Everybody Wants Some. Another movie where I absolutely adored it when I saw it at a festival screening. Then I saw it in theaters. and it was like probably 5 other people in there. They were not vibing with it the same way. So
Oh
Linklater
man.
really is this person where he makes these movies where you just have to be in that mood, in that vibe to really go with it. But
He
I'm
makes a lot
curious to
of
see what he has
hangout
next.
movies. He makes
That's what it
movies that
is.
there's a lot of air in them, right? And sometimes
You
that
need to be
air,
willing to hang out.
yeah, that sometimes that air can make you feel a little bit like restless in your seat, like where is this going, what are we doing, what's the point of this? But like when you can key into the themes, the mood, the vibes, they're just like the really delightful movies to hang out with. I don't know if
Yeah.
any of the criticisms of the movie resonate with you. Like one criticism of the movie that I feel like is very fair is that like it's not exactly the most like visually exciting movie. Like it's fine. It's not like it's like a beautiful movie to look at, but that doesn't make it stop me from having a really good time with it. I think the things that the movie does well, it does excellently. And one
Yeah.
of those things isn't necessarily like giving you ground-breaking cinematography, but it's
Yeah.
not like it's ugly either.
No, I agree with you there. Was it shot during the pandemic? That could be another reason for why they had to
Yeah,
maybe approach it that
I
way.
think like maybe like not quite in the height of the pandemic, but shortly
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, you're not wrong there because it is a lot of like he'll be doing something and it's reverse shot with whatever person he's interrogating, and then it's him back in the truck, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just listening in. But what it lacks in cinematography, it more than makes up in its performances. Both of the leads are incredible in the film, so
Yes.
I would give a shout out to that.
And not just the leads, too. I wanted to shout out Austin Emilio, who plays kind of like the detective who's sort of the foil of the movie. I thought he was like incredible in this movie. Like you need a kind of great sleazebag character for them to play opposite off of.
Oh, and he was in Everybody Wants Some. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. I thought he was a really good actor in this.
is he in Walking Dead? He's in something else, bro. Someone will let me know. But
Think
I
so.
recognize him from something else. Yeah, Hollow was a pretty good indie movie as well. But I agree with you. As well as who else? I think it was what's her name?
Retta?
Retta. Yeah, she was pretty good in it as well. Just having a good ensemble to go with it. But hey, I agree with you. It's definitely a vibe movie. In mentioning Boyhood, I remember you talking about having seen the play and how he's also working on the Merrily We Go Along or Roll Along.
Yeah,
That he's also
Merrily We
having
Roll
it
Along.
be in terms of different stages in these actors' careers. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with that one as well. But hey, it's Richard Linklater. He's always coming out with bangers. Even if you don't like it at the moment, I like that it's on Netflix because you can catch it later. And when you're willing to hang out, you never want to bring someone out on the weekend who wants to stay at home. But when you're willing to go out, that's when the movie hits the most. So Hitman, I still recommend it. One of my favorite action comedy steamy rom-coms that's out there and is now available on
Definitely.
Netflix for everyone to catch.